Hey, welcome to connect.livermorelivemusic.com. In this overview, I'm going to show you the main features of the Connect system, which is all about live music gigs and about venues and bands connecting with each other to arrange for gigs. So the system can be used by venues and bands throughout the Tri-Valley area and even the surrounding areas. And the idea is that when a venue has a date where they're looking for a band to play, and a band has the same date where they're looking for a venue to play at, that they can easily find each other and talk about whether the band can play at that venue on that date. One thing I want to emphasize is Connect does not book gigs. Booking is a process that goes on between the venue and the band, agreeing that the band's going to play there and they're going to be for so much time and so much money. That's between the band and the venue. Connect doesn't do that. What Connect does is it gets the bands and the venues talking to each other so that hopefully they can arrange gigs. So for this example, I've set up some fake bands and some fake venues to sort of demonstrate how the system works. So all the fake bands are something something Bob, and all of the fake venues are something something Joe. So when you hear me talk about blah 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 Bob, that's a fake band that I set up for this demonstration. Blah 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 Joe, that's a fake venue. We're going to start off with a fake band named the Bobs. So here is the band, the Bobs. They're on the Connect system and they're looking at their calendar. And what you do is you mark up the calendar dates with the status of your band or your venue according to what you're doing with live music. So for this band, the Bobs, let's say that we're going to mark this date as blacked out. We're not playing live music on the 5th. And in fact, you can grab a bunch of dates in a row and mark them all blacked out. You can also mark a date as booked, meaning you have a gig on that date. So let's say that this band, the Bob, is playing at some great venue. You can put anything you want in there. And we'll say it's at 1 p.m. or you can type 1300. That'll work too. And this blue box means that this band, the Bobs, has a gig at some place on this date. And for this example, what's really important is I'm going to mark October 15th as looking. And I'm going to go ahead and mark October 16th as looking. Now, when a band marks a date as looking on their calendar, what that means is they've already checked and all the band members are in town, they're all available and ready to play on that date. If a venue offers them a gig on that date, they don't have to check to see if everybody's able to play. They already did that. That's why they marked the date as looking on the calendar. Now, let's go to a fictional venue that I set up. So this is the same sort of thing, but now we're logged in as a venue called Joe's Place. We're on the Connect system, and this is the calendar for Joe's Place. And I've already marked some of these dates as blacked out, and there's a gig here. And what's interesting is we've marked this date, October 15th, as looking for the venue Joe's Place, meaning that Joe's Place needs a band to play on October 15th. And when they click on this, you can pull up what's called the Connect table. Connect. So this is the table for October 15th. And what it does is it shows you the status of bands on that date. And in particular, here's two bands whose status is looking. And one of them is the Bobs, and we know that because we just marked the Bobs calendar as looking. So if the venue clicks on that row, it brings up a bunch of information about that band, because in this example, maybe the venue knows who the Bobs are, maybe they don't. But now they can find out who the contact for the Bobs is, the phone number if they put it in the system. They can go look at their website. There's a quick brief description of the band, and so the venue can decide whether to have a conversation with the band about a gig. Well, let's say that they want to. Suppose they want to book the Bobs. So you say email, and that pulls up this email window. And so this is from Joe Joseph at Joe's Place to Bob Bobster, and this is the person that does the booking for the band, the Bobs, regarding October 15th. And now you say, you know, we have, and you type, we're going to have a gig on this date, and it's at this time, and it pays this much money, or whatever you want to say. But you communicate with the band. If they had put their phone number in the system, you also could send them a text or a phone or make a phone call. In most cases, I think people will use email. But you type in your email, and I'm not going to actually send this one, but you would do that. And then the band can respond back and decide whether to have the gig or not. No. So let's, just for example, let's see, we'll go back to Joe's Place calendar. And now I'm going to slip back over to the Bobs. And let's say that the Bobs offline, the Bobs got the email from Joe's Place, said, sure, we love to play, everybody's agreement, and now the Bobs are going to play at Joe's Place on the 15th. And so the Bobs should now go and mark that date as booked, and it's at Joe's Place, And let's say that's at 2 p.m. And so now they've marked that as booked. That's the most important magic of the whole system, was what you just saw there. How a venue that's looking for a band on a certain date can find the bands that have said they're looking, they've said that they're available and ready to play, and email, or if they want to, phone or text that band and have a conversation about whether or not to book a gig. The same thing will work in reverse. The band can click on looking and see a connect table of venues and send emails to venues that are looking for a band on the same date. So either the venue or the band can initiate that conversation about having a gig. That's the most important thing that the system does. There are a couple of other cool things that it does while we're here, and let me show those to you. So suppose you're the person for a band or a venue who maintains the website for that band or venue. So you'd like to have a list or a calendar or something on your website so your fans or your customers can know when you have gigs. So it turns out that's easy to do with the Connect system. Let me show you. So we'll go back to the Bobs, and the Bobs right now on their Connect calendar has 2 gigs marked, one on the 15th and one on the 19th. Let's go to the website for the Bobs. So this is their website, and I have to refresh the page. But look at that. The 2 gigs that were on the Bobs Connect calendar just show up on their website automatically. That's so cool, I'm going to show you it again. So now I'm back at the Connect calendar for the Bobs, and we'll say that we got another gig. Maybe we didn't get this one through Connect, we just got it through a friend or something. We're going to mark this as booked, and so we're at, Wonderful Wines at 2 p.m. So now on our Connect calendar, the band, the Bobs, has 3 gigs that are marked. And if we go back to our website, or if our fans go to our website, I have to refresh this page, that gig that I just added to the Connect calendar shows up on the Bobs webpage. That is pretty cool. You can do it like this with text, and there's some options for formatting the text to make it look right on your website. You can also do it in a calendar. So this is a calendar on the Bobs website, and when their fans go to the gigs tab on their website, they see this calendar, and this calendar automatically gets filled in with the dates that they marked as booked on their Connect calendar. And if you're a web developer, there's a couple of other ways that you can do it too, but that's the idea, is you can easily use the Connect system to keep track of your gigs and then have that show up on your website automatically. There's one more pretty cool thing that the system does. You have to be part of Livermore Live Music for this to work. So if you're not a venue or a band in Livermore, this isn't that relevant to you, but for bands and venues in Livermore, you can also use the Connect system to put your gigs on the Livermore Live Music website. So let me show you how that works. Here's another fictional venue called Joe Street Eatery. And Joe Street Eatery is a venue in the Livermore Live Music system. It knows about Joe Street Eatery. So we're going to have, again, we're working with our Connect calendar here. So we're going to mark a date as booked. And this has to be a band that's also known to the Livermore Live Music system. But if you pick a band, I happen to know that this one is known to Livermore Live Music. So we'll make this at 3 p.m. So the venue Joe Street Eatery just marked this date as booked with a band that is known to Livermore Live Music. And Joe Street Eatery is known to Livermore Live Music. So look what happened. The gig, or the event, shows up like we've seen before. But in addition, there's this extra dark blue box that says LLM. And that's telling you that in the Livermore Live Music system, this gig also just showed up. And let's go take a look at that and see. So this is the Livermore Live Music website. And I do this in a bunch of different ways, but I'm going to go and take a look at the gigs by band, and we're going to look at Bob Dad Republic. And look at that, the gig that Joe Street Eatery just added to their Connect calendar shows up on the Livermore Live Music website because the venue and the band were both known to Livermore Live Music. So if you're a person that books gigs for a venue, if you're a person that books your band in the Tri-Valley or surrounding area, or if you're a person that maintains your website for a venue or a band, and or if you're a venue or a band in Livermore. Those are the things that you can do with the system that might be interesting to you. So if you think the system would help you out, register for an account. There's a tutorial that'll show you how to do that, and check it out.